Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you got great weather. We got some great weather here, Southeast Texas, after a couple of weeks of rainy, stormy days. Thank God the weather is nice again. We got a lot to go over. A lot of basketball this week. A lot of upsets this week, too. We'll go over all those. Go over some news here. We got quite a few news items here. Before we start, hit that little subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything. With that, let's get to some news. Iowa, they've hired former Western Michigan head coach and Green Bay Packers analyst, Tim Lester, for their offensive coordinator position, replacing Ferentz Sun, who a lot of people didn't like. I guess, I mean, the guy had a contract to score a certain amount of points each game, didn't do that, so they finally got rid of him. Arizona, they hire former Syracuse head coach Dino Babers for their, was that DC? I think DC is what I wrote down. Hard to read my writing. Anyway, yeah, Dino would start off good at Syracuse, and then, I don't know, man, towards halfway or at halfway, Syracuse would just fall off the map. I don't know what happened to him. Anyway, so Syracuse got tired of it, got rid of him. Arizona hires him. Wisconsin, they hire former USC defensive coordinator Alex Grinch for safeties coach. He was fired November 5th from USC by Lincoln Riley. His defense gave up 100 points in the 2 games before he got fired. So Wisconsin hires him as safeties coach. Let's see how that works out. Basketball, Old Dominion leading scorer Vashon Alte, we averaged about 17 points a game. Dismissed from the team for conduct unbecoming of a monarch. No specific reason given, other than something to do with his conduct. So I don't know if he was acting like a fool. I haven't seen any Old Dominion games, so I don't know if he was acting like a fool during their games or on campus, out in public, what. But anyway, he's been dismissed. Auburn hiring veteran assistant DJ Durkin as his DC. Previously coached at Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Florida, Michigan. Was head coach of Maryland. And if I remember right, didn't some player at Maryland die during summer workouts or something while he was head coach there? I think that's what happened. But he's been around, bounced around. Well, Auburn's going to take a chance on him, see how he does there. NCAA, they pick and choose who they want to investigate, what they want to investigate. Well, this time they picked Tennessee's recruitment of 5-year quarterback Nico Amaleva from California and his NIL contract with Spirey Sports Group, which I think handles Tennessee's marketing, NIL, all that kind of stuff. Tennessee says the NCAA is failing. I think we've all known this for a few years now, especially when the whole NIL deal came about. What was that, like 3 years ago now? They did nothing. Set no ground rules, nothing. So like people are saying, I'll even admit it, it's like the Wild Wild West out there. I mean, it's like back in the SMU days of the late 70s, early 80s. No rules were set, so everybody's doing what the hell they want. NCAA could have got a handle on it. They didn't. They just sat back and watched everything. NCAA once served a purpose, but I think now they're just a failing entity or whatever you want to call them. Whenever they do something, I really don't pay much attention to it anymore because they're just kind of irrelevant now. They probably just need to go, and college football needs to get together, have some kind of committee or a czar, like they say, to police everything and work things out because the NCAA is not doing it. They may pick somebody, we'll investigate this guy, but these people over here who robbing banks on this team, that's cool, don't worry about it. So, yeah, the NCAA, they're kind of becoming irrelevant now. And they did it to themselves. They really have. Baylor beats Iowa State yesterday. Head coach Scott Drew gets ejected. Did you see the remarks in the press conference by AD Mark Rhodes afterwards? He said things I think we're all thinking, all this college sports, really all sports fans, because officiating is horrible in every sport now. I don't know what the deal is. But he said basically that he said the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the land. Big 10, could maybe make a argument with that. Maybe SEC, but they are a damn good conference. He says, as good as our conference is, it's embarrassing to have officiating like we had in today's game. And he's not wrong. I mean, that was a horrible officiated game. We'll go over that game here in a minute. But that's just not, like I said, that's across every sport in America right now. I don't know what the hell's going on. If you've noticed, every American business, whatever, has dumbed down. I mean, you got dumbass teachers, dumbass policemen, dumbass politicians, dumbass coaches, dumbass people working at stores. America's just dumbed down, and it has trickled into officiating in American sports because there's some dumb calls made. There's some missed, blatant calls are missed. Those calls aren't called. What he said I agree with. A lot of people may not. Oh, officiating, nothing wrong with it. If you have not seen that video, when you get time today, go look up that video. It's only like 2 minutes long. But he ripped into officiating, and it was well deserved. I know officiating is not easy. Hey, I've never officiated a game, but it does seem in the last several years, officiating has gone way downhill. And all of us who have been around a while, watch sports, don't remember it being this bad. Really, really, really don't. So, I don't know. In the meantime, Big Ten and SEC are forming a committee. They're going to address college sports issues. I don't know if they're going to get in other conferences in on this, or what they're planning on doing, or what they're even going to plan to do. But they formed a committee to try to work out college issues, whatever that may be. Senior Bowl was yesterday. I actually tuned in for a little bit of it, but get this. Michael Penix Jr. sits out. Bo Nix and Spencer Rattler didn't play very much. And so my thing is, well, why'd you even go? I mean, I don't know if the rules used to be you could play in 2 bowl games. So the guys would usually pick their bowl game and whatever All-Star game, Senior Bowl, East-West Shrine game, Hula Bowl when they used to have it. So I don't know if those are still the rules, but I'm thinking, if you're not going to play, or you're not going to play that much, why'd you even go? I mean, I don't know. Things are weird right now in college sports. All right, so let's do a quick recap of things that have happened in this last week. Going back a week ago, number 1, UConn beat Xavier by 43 points. Pretty impressive. Number 2, Purdue beat Rutgers 68-60. And Zach Edey, he joins the 2,000-point, 1,000-rebound club with that win. Number 19, Memphis, they lost to 13-7 UAB, 97-88. What else on Sunday? Number 25, New Mexico beat Nevada by 34 points. That ends a 9-game losing streak to Nevada that they had. 16-6, Youngstown State beat Northern Kentucky, 82-52. I'm sorry. 7-point game at half. Youngstown State, 23 points off of turnovers in that game. And 9-11, Wichita State, who used to be a pretty decent basketball program, beat 13-7 SMU, 77-72. Wichita State, 40 points in the paint, 17 points off turnovers in that game. Going back to Monday, number 4, Houston beat 14-7 Texas, 76-72. Houston Sheed, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. That game went into overtime. Houston outscored Texas 11-7 in overtime. Duke beat Va Tech, 19-2. McNeese, they won again. They beat Northwestern State, 89-65. Moving on to Tuesday, 10-11, Georgia Tech beat number 3 North Carolina by 1 point. Nathan George, final second shot was it for Georgia Tech winning that game. 18-3, South Carolina beat number 5 Tennessee, 63-59. Both teams under 37% shooting in the field. South Carolina was better, 3-point shooting and free throw shooting. That could have made the difference. Number 8, Kansas beat Oklahoma State, 83-54. All 5 Kansas starters scored double-digit points in that game. Number 9, Marquette beat Villanova by 5 points. Marquette's Kolek Career high 32 points in that game. Illinois beat Ohio State 87-75. Not a good week for Ohio State basketball. Number 25, TCU beat number 15, Texas Tech 85-78. Both teams had 13 points off turnovers in that game. Number 17, Utah State beat San Jose State 82-61. Number 23, Oklahoma beat Kansas State by 20 points. Kansas State, as of Tuesday, had lost 4 out of their last 6 games. They lost again yesterday. We'll go over that one too. Ole Miss, I don't know if they call it the Egg Bowl, but 18-3, Ole Miss beat 14-7 Mississippi State by 4 points there. And last but not least, on Tuesday, 13-8, Michigan State beat 7-14 Michigan, their rival, 81-62. Moving on to Wednesday, number 1 UConn beat Providence 74-65. 46 total fouls in that game. Let's see, number 2 Purdue beat Northwestern 105-96 in overtime. Not a good week for Northwestern either. Zach Edey for Purdue, 30 points, 15 rebounds. 10 of those points came in overtime because that game went into overtime. 15-6 Florida beat number 10 Kentucky in overtime, 94-91. Not a good week for Kentucky either. 3 Florida starters had 20-plus points in that game. Number 16 Auburn beat Vanderbilt 81-54. Vanderbilt only shot 27% from the field in that game. Let's see, 15-6 Boise State beat number 19 New Mexico 86-78. Boise's Max Rice, 35 points in that game, a career high. Number 24, Alabama beat Georgia, 85-76. Bulldogs led this game by 14 at halftime. Let it get away from them. Bama outscored them 58-35 in the second half of that one. 13-8, Pitt beat 13-7 Wake Forest by 5 points. 8-13, West Virginia beat 14-7 Cincinnati. 11-12, Gardner-Webb beat 14-9 UNC Asheville, 80-73. 15-7, Chattanooga beat 16-6 Western Carolina, 91-85. 8-13, Rice beat 15-6 Memphis by 3 points. Moving on to Thursday, some of the highlights of Thursday. 16-6, Nebraska beat number 6 Wisconsin, 80-72 in overtime. Nebraska was down 16 points at halftime in that one. What else happened on Thursday? Some other things. 12-10, Monmouth beat 15-8 Drexel, 67-52. 11-11, Milwaukee beat 14-8 Purdue Fort Wayne by 3. 6-17, Bellarmine beat 13-9 Kennesaw State by 1 in overtime. Moving on to Friday, 15-7, Butler beat number 3 Creighton by 1. Butler's Telfair, 26 points. Davis behind him had 22 points. Butler shot 55% from the field, 59% on three-point shooting too. Creighton, 55% from the field. 4 starters had 20 or more points for Creighton in that one. Number 21, Dayton beat St. Bonaventure by 5. Dayton's Holmes the third, 34.7 rebounds. Iowa beat Ohio State. Like we said, Ohio State did not have a good week in basketball. Both of them are 13-9 this year. 16-3, Cornell beat Dartmouth by 3. 17-4, Quinnipiac beat Manhattan by 6 points. 10-10, Iona beat 12-9 Fairfield, 91-82. 14-6, Yale beat 15-3 Princeton. 17-5, Akron beat 14-8 Toledo. 17-5, Nevada beat San Jose State by 30. Nevada, 11 three-pointers in that game, 19 points off of turnovers in that win. So, getting to yesterday. Number 1, UConn wins its 10th game in a row, beat St. John's 77-64. Number 3, North Carolina beats number 7, Duke 93-84. Baycott from North Carolina, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, followed by Ingram, 21 points, 13 rebounds. Davis had 17 points. North Carolina shot 50% from the field. Duke's McCain, 23 points, 11 rebounds. Filipowski, 22 points, 5 rebounds. Roach, 20 points. Duke actually shot 51% from the field. North Carolina, they made more three-pointers, had more assists in this game. 19 points off of turnovers. Duke did have more paints in the more points in the paint. Can't talk this morning. But North Carolina still comes out and beats them by 9. Number 8, Kansas beat number 4, Houston, 65. I knew it was going to be a hard game. I thought Houston would keep it close. I mean, they only lost by, 5, 6, 7, 8 points? No. Yeah. But 7, 8 points. But still, I thought it'd be like a 2, 3-point game maybe. Or I thought that maybe they could go up there and pull the upset, but I was wrong. Kansas's Dickinson, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Furphy and McCullough Jr., 17 points. Jayhawks, 69% from the field. Cryer for Houston, 24 points. He made 6 3-pointers in this game. Behind him, Roberts, 11 points, 13 rebounds. Only 36% from the field shooting for the Cougars. Houston did out-rebound them, though, 40-24. So there's something you can take away from that. KU, more points in the paint. U of H did also score 20 points off of turnovers. Jayhawks are coughing the ball up big time yesterday. Kept watching U of H to finally just, downshift and go, but never did. They never could do that. Number 5, Tennessee beat number 10, Kentucky, 103-92. Not a good week for Kentucky. We already mentioned that. Ziegler for the Volunteers, 26 points, 13 rebounds. James, 26 points, 5 rebounds. Both those guys combined for 7 3-pointers in that game. Volunteers for 49% from the field. Kentucky's Dillingham came off the bench, 35 points in that one. Reeves behind him, 21 points. Kentucky shot 49% from the field. Number 9, Marquette beat Georgetown, 91-57. Marquette's Jones had a career high in that game, 31 points. Number 18, Baylor beat number 12, Iowa State, 70-68. Dennis for Baylor, 18 points, 7 rebounds, followed by Nunn, who had 16 points. Baylor, 46% from the field. They hit 12 3-pointers in that game. Iowa State's Gilbert, 24 points. Jones came off the bench, 11 points. Cyclones only 39% from the field. We talked about the officiating in that game and the AD ripping the officials after the game. Baylor, 23 fouls. Iowa State, 22 fouls in that game. So there you go. 15-7, Cincinnati beat number 15, Texas Tech, 75-72. Cincinnati was 44% from the field. Texas Tech was 40% from the field. No Cincinnati players scored more than 16 points in that game. They still beat Texas Tech. Number 16, Auburn beat 18-4, Ole Miss, 91-77. Rebels actually led that game by 9 at halftime. 17-5, San Diego State beat number 17, Utah State, 81-67. No players in that game had over 17 points. That's pretty crazy. Number 20, Florida Atlantic beat Tulsa, 102-70. All 5 Florida Atlantic players, double-digit points in that game. Davis leader, he had 24. Number 22, BYU beat West Virginia, 86-73. Traore for BYU, 24 points, 9 rebounds. Cougars shot 49% from the field. 13-8, Central Florida beat number 23, Oklahoma, 74-63. Not one Oklahoma player or one Oklahoma starter had over 10 points in that game. Bad shooting all around. Central Florida, though, what helped them also? 16 points off of Oklahoma turnovers. Number 24, Alabama beat 14-8 Mississippi State, 99-67. Alabama hit 15 3-pointers in that game. And they scored 27 points off of the turnovers. 15-7, Texas goes to Fort Worth, beats number 25 TCU, 77-66. UT's Abmas, 21 points, 19 of those were after halftime. Scored the last 13 points for Texas in that game. Some other upsets yesterday. 11-11, Penn State beat 13-9 Indiana, 85-71. That's the first time Penn State has won at Assembly Hall since 2014. 14-7, UMass beat 15-7 George Mason by 1 point. 10-12, Oklahoma State beat 14-8 Kansas State by 3 points. Cowboys 16 points on the turnovers. Kansas State is a hard team to figure out. I've seen a few of their games this year, and some games they play lights out, And then the next game, they play like the lights never came on. They've been sleeping the whole time. Very hard team to figure out. So is Northwestern. Northwestern's a hard team to figure out this year, too. Play great one game. The next game, it's like they took the day off or something. It's crazy. 9-14, Murray State beat 12-11 Northern Iowa, 71-43. Murray State led this game 35-18 at halftime and kept on going. 18-4, Charleston Southern beat 14-10 Longwood, 83-77. Charleston Southern Sumler, 34 points in that game. 14-7, Minnesota beat 15-7 Northwestern, just mentioned them. In overtime, 75-66. Like I said, Northwestern, another hard team to figure out. 3-21, Stonehill beat 10-11 Wagner, 71-61. Stonehill, Zergowski, 20 points. That ends a 10-game losing streak for Stonehill. They turned it around. 8-15, FIU beat 13-10 Sam Houston, 68-61. 9-13, Cal beat 11-11 Arizona State, 81-66. 11-12, Maine beat 14-9 Bryant, 79-72. 6-15, Vanderbilt beat 8-14 Missouri by 7. Why did I mention this game? They both got losing records. What the hell has happened to those two basketball programs? They used to be pretty good. Used to be decent, at least. These last couple of years, Vandy and Mizzou, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe Vandy's throwing all their stuff into baseball, and Mizzou's throwing all their stuff into football and forgetting about basketball. I don't know. 7-15, South Carolina Upstate beat 13-11 Radford, 78-69. 13-8, Texas A&M beat 15-7 Florida by 1 point. 14-8, VCU beat 16-6 Richmond, 63-52. 2-point game at halftime. VCU came back and won that one. 13-10, Wofford beat 16-7 Western Carolina, 88-86 in overtime. 9-14, Idaho State beat 10-13 Northern Arizona, 81-79. You knew it had to come to an end, and it finally did. 9-13, Southeast Louisiana beat 19-3 McNeese State, 77-74. That ends McNeese State's 14-game win streak. Good team. They got it going on. We'll see what they do in the tournament and all that stuff. But, heck, great season for them. And I think they'll probably bounce back and start another winning streak because they're a good team. They really are. Utah beat Colorado 73-68. Both are 15-7, 6-5 in conference. 13-9 Central Michigan beat 15-7 Bowling Green, 77-76 in overtime. 13-8 New Hampshire beat 15-6 UMass Lowell, 89-73. 12-10 Eastern Kentucky beat 13-10 Kennesaw State by 10. 9-14 Texas State, beat 12-11 Southern Miss by 5. 11-13 Austin Peay beat 13-11 North Florida. 95-91 in 2 overtimes. Rounding out some of the more interesting games here on Saturday. 13-10 Hofstra beat 14-9 Towson by 3. 9-13 USC beat 11-11 Oregon State, 82-54. 13-11 San Diego beat 15-9 Santa Clara, 70-59. 14-9 Long Beach State beat 15-8 UC San Diego, 85-76. 7-15 Louisville beats 12-9 Florida State, 101-92. 11-11 Oral Roberts beat 13-11 Denver, 82-76. Oral Roberts is McBride, 34 points in that game. 13-9 Seattle beat 13-8 Cal Baptist by 1. 8-14 Idaho beat 11-12 Montana State, 81-75. 14-8 Eastern Washington beat 15-8 Montana, 78-65. Good week for the Idaho schools, bad week for Montana schools. 11-11 UCLA beat 15-7 Oregon, 71-63. And last but not least, 18-6 St. Mary's beat 16-6 Gonzaga. Now, today, no football. Well, in the Pro Bowl today, I mean, they need to put that thing back after the Super Bowl again. But hey, listen to these games we got today of college basketball. Noon, CBS. Number 2, Purdue at number 6, Wisconsin. It's going to be a great game. 5 p.m., ESPN2. 14-7 UAB versus 14-7 SMU. And then on Big Ten Network at 5:30, 16-6 Nebraska at 16-5 Illinois. So 3 good games right there. Later on, if you're interested, you got 11-9 Stanford at number 11 Arizona at 7 p.m. on FS1. So, I mean, 3 for sure good games there. Maybe a 4th. Who knows? Maybe Stanford might pull something out of their butt. Who knows? Anyway, hey, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a great week. Be safe and work hard, work fast, stay busy so the weekend gets here again real quick. We'll see you next time.